Good morning, my beloved. It is Monday again, 7:30 Central Time. Thank you for watching. Everything costs, beloved. Everything costs. My question to you today is, what's costing you the most? It's very, very interesting to me that the employee you pay the most money to is not necessarily the one costing you the most. If that person is producing and above and beyond the others, she's well worth the money you're paying. The employee who costs you the most is the one you're paying the most, who's doing the least, because you're getting the least return for your investment. Everything costs. It costs you time, costs you money, costs you thought. Everything costs. But I want you to look at today what's costing you the most. Maybe it's a mindset. I know of a situation I'm a little bit involved in where this person needs to change their mindset. They're involved in a terrible relationship. They keep going back. And, I can't tell you how many people I've got out of bad situations only to have them turn around and go back because the fear of the unknown is greater for them than the fear of being in that abusive relationship, or the fear of going back to that terrible job, or the fear of what they already know. The fear of the unknown keeps them from doing something different. So maybe the greatest cost for you today is a mindset that needs to be changed. I know lots of women that I've helped get out of a situation, and they made different changes in their life and their whole destiny changed. But they had to work through a mindset that said, this is the only way. This is the only person who actually cares about me. Even though they were being beaten, even though they were being used, they were nothing more than a paid prostitute, is what it really came down to. And yet, when they made the choice that it's not all about that I'm valuable, I have significance, I matter, and they begin to have somebody pour into them the gospel, that Jesus paid the price for them, and that he has a good plan for their life, their ideas changed to where instead of being stuck in this rut, which a rut, by the way, is a grave with the ends knocked out, instead of being stuck in a rut, they saw a different life. They had hope for something different. So their most costly thing was an idea that had them locked. Sometimes the most costly thing is a relationship that is going nowhere. It's costing you time, valuable time. Because the truth of the matter is, beloved, the most valuable thing you and I have to offer someone is our time. Because when you offer that time, there is no getting it back. It is not like money that you can invest and get money in return, or money is lost but you can make more of it. Once you spend whatever time you listen to me today, whatever time you've spent, you can't get back. So my heart is that what I share with you has so much value, it is worth your time investment. If it's not, my encouragement would be to go listen to somebody else whose time that you spend gives value to you and to your life and causes you to think and change and take the next step and go higher, go to the next level. Time is the most valuable thing you have to offer. And so when you offer time to a relationship that isn't going anywhere, it's time to reinvest in a relationship that has value, that makes you feel good about yourself, that helps you make your destiny, that helps you challenge yourself to think differently and be the person God created you to be. When you invest money in something, but that investment brings back a good investment, then it's money well spent. And I just have to tell you, I've just thinking about this. My wife and I were headed out of town Friday, and we have a long trip all the way to Brownwood. It's a good trip. I love those people, and it's worth the time. But while we were headed down, I couldn't get it out of my heart. We were going to go by my daughter and grandkids' place within about 15 minutes, I guess. It'd be a 20-minute trip there and back to the road. But I couldn't get out of my heart. I just wanted to go get a hug. And so we texted them and said, "Are you home? And is it okay if we come by?" They said yes. And that 15, 20-minute investment, that hug was more valuable to me than any amount of money. That I wished I could bottle the feeling of a hug, so I could pour it out on people who need a hug. I'm telling you, I'd be a gazillionaire. It wasn't what, a 30-second hug. Gave my grandkids a kiss, hugged my daughter, told them I loved them. We got back in the vehicle and off we went. That was time spent. I can't get it back, but I got more out of that 20 minutes than any amount of money people could give me. So it was time well spent. What's costing you today? What's your most costly investment? It may not be what you think it is. So my challenge would be to take a look at, what am I spending my time in that's giving me really nothing back in return? I don't have any problems with people playing games on their phone or playing games on their TV or what. I don't really have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with people, lollygagging here and there. But you can't watch 8 hours of SpongeBob and then complain about not having any time to fulfill your destiny, or to write that book, or to paint that room, or whatever it might be. Once you've spent that time, if it hasn't brought you anything of value in return, it is in essence wasted time. And I love watching movies. My wife and I have things that we love watching, and we watch it together, but that time is spent as a couple. That time is spent enjoying. And we don't do it very often. We don't spend hours and hours in front of the TV, because that time, once it's spent, cannot be bought back. It's gone. I spend time fishing, but fishing brings me joy. I spend time hunting, but hunting fills me up. It brings me great joy, and it fills me up to a place where I'm willing to go back and invest in the hard things that I do for a living, helping people through loss, helping people through struggles, helping people find their destiny, their purpose in life. So I'm asking you to take the time, because that will be time well invested, to look at your life, look at your day, and what is costing you the most today? What are you spending money in but getting nothing back in return? Maybe you don't need to spend your money there anymore. What are you spending time in that is being wasted? What are you thinking about that has no positive outcome? What are you watching that's just in the scheme of things, when it's done, just hours spent wasted? If you can find that, if you can come to the awareness of what those things are and reinvest your time in things that have real value and significance, reinvest your money in things that have a good return, you will find that your 24-hour day hasn't given you any more time, but that time brings back more, so it's time well vested. Everybody has 25 hours in a day, everybody. But some people use that 24 hours productively, and others use that 24 hours and it's very unproductive. They both had 24 hours, but one invested that time in things that brought back a great return. They wrote that book, they wrote that song, they built that project, they finished that project, they shared in a relationship, and that relationship blossomed. So my question again is, everything's costing you something. Everything. There's nothing free. Everything costs you something. But what's costing you the most? And is it worth costing you the most? If it's not, change that for something that has higher value in return. Investing in things that have a better harvest. Love y'all so much. Thank you for sharing. Would you press that share button now? Would you help me changed thousands of lives. We're continuing to grow. I'm grateful for that. And for those of you that have wanted to be my friend, and I keep trying to let you in, and it keeps telling me I already have 5,000 friends, just wait a day or two. I'll make somebody mad. They'll unfriend me, and then as soon as I can, I'll put you in as my friend. Love you all so much. Have a great week. See you next Monday.